a 7.5, 8.
Okay.
I think I'm a 10
Wait,
in the
can we
Midwest.
just have you scoot into the table so you're not like leaned back?
Depends on the city. In LA,
Yeah.
the number goes down.
Okay. Let's say you're in like a international hub somewhere. I don't know.
International hub?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Like LA, for example. I would, on a good day, a solid, like a strong 8.
Okay.
I would call myself a 10, but that's because no matter who it is, like no one's ever gonna think I'm the prettiest girl, or like there's always gonna be somebody that thinks I'm ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna call myself a 10 and be happy with that.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
Not
sure.
everybody likes me, not everybody has to.
Okay, we'll let everybody answer. Go ahead.
I'd give myself an 8.
If I was down south or in the Midwest, I'd be Beyonce. But here in LA, you feel me? It really just depends on what part of, well, we're in Santa Barbara, but I'm from LA, I'm from the hood. So in the hood, I'm definitely a 10. You feel me? But when you go to Beverly Hills, stuff like that, you fat, you got a belly, little fupa, then yeah, your number go way down. So Beverly Hills versus the hood, let me know.
Okay.
More to love, baby. More to love. I would rate myself like a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
I'd probably give myself a 6.5 or a 7. I think it depends on the city and state too. Like in Florida, maybe like a 7, but here in California, maybe like a 6.5.
Yeah, I think I'm 6.5. I think that's about accurate. You guys are kind of changing my mind.
Little
I think
closer
you guys
to
are
the
low
mic.
balling, but
I was gonna say like a some real 7 or beautiful- 8, but I'm gonna go with the 8.
I say 5. I think I'm an average chick. No, I
Not
don't.
pretty, no.
What? That doesn't mean. I don't think there's anything wrong with
and we're
average.
talking about looks alone.
Looks
Like,
alone.
we're not talking
Yeah,
about
just
an
looks.
overall
No, I mean,
rating.
I think like there's nothing wrong with being average. I think if you take 10 girls at the table, like half of us probably are average.
Yeah. I think no one wants to be like honest with
The thing is,
themselves.
and just because
to
you're
be
not
like,
saying you're a 10 doesn't mean you're not confident either.
Yeah,
There's a difference
fact,
between
fact.
realistic and just
Yeah.
not confident.
I agree completely.
Yeah, I don't know why like we live in this society where average is seen as a bad thing. Like
Yeah.
most
Yeah,
people
just
are average.
most of
Not
us
everyone
are.
can be like
Yeah.
if you think about it, if you're an 8, that means you're in the top 20% of beauty. You should have had top 20% of beauty results. So that means I don't know, modeling contracts, I don't know, eligible top 20%, 10% men in your DMs or I
Have
don't
you
know,
seen
but
them?
not just like taking you seriously, but go ahead.
There's also been beauty studies they've done where they've like had 8 faces lined up of different like kinds of beauty, supermodel beauty with the chiseled features, and like what people
Yes,
actually
it's-
find most beautiful is most familiar. So it's like more the girl next door look that was actually rated the most beautiful.
Or even like somebody, like I've noticed like the more that I've been around couples, people tend to date people that kind of resemble them or someone that they love, like their mom or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Again, it's probably the familiarity thing that she just pointed out. But I've continued to notice more and more that since being in LA that a lot of people tend to date people that kind of look a little bit like them. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that necessarily like it's the beauty standard. It's just
Well, beauty-
they see
beauty-
beauty in each.
Beauty
you can see
is,
beauty
I'd
in
like to say that
anything, yeah.
beauty is not subjective, it's objective. There's been many studies, like people tend to find the same things attractive. Like people might have like certain types where it differs a little bit, but in general, like it's not subjective. It's
Yeah, and every
Also,
man,
do
woman,
you
and
think
in
it differs
between
on
is
what's
someone's
popular
type.
at the time?
not
Oh,
really.
true.
Yeah,
I think it
Look
depends
at
on the
Kardashian
country, too.
effect.
Because I didn't want to
Beauty
get lip
standards.
fillers until like 3 years ago when it became popular to have big lips, and as someone like
Yeah, and I was
But
bullied for my
I
big
feel
lips
like-
growing up until it became like people were getting lip injections.
But I feel like that's
you
why
have
I
your-
call
Yo,
myself
fix
a
that,
10, 'cause
man.
I'm not going to
Hold on.
base what I think of myself on what anybody else thinks of me. I look in the mirror every day and I like what I see.
Yeah, but that's
So-
delusional. though.
But it's,
like, we have
but
to-
it's
we have
true.
to-
I
we
like
have
what I
to-
see in the
reality.
mirror. So
Like,
in
we just
my
need to-
mind,
Okay, then
I see
okay,
myself
in
as
my
a 10.
mind, in my
I'm not
mind,
saying that you have to see
in
me
my
as a 10.
mind,
You
in
might
my
see me as a
mind,
3.
in
It
my
doesn't
mind,
change
I'm a
how I
millionaire.
see myself,
In my
though.
mind, I'm a millionaire and a PhD in my mind, and I feel like that, so therefore I am.
that's a
I just
Think
also
it is
too,
the
you
same
like
person.
just because
too.
you like what you
There
see in the
are-
mirror, also that
Yeah, but
doesn't mean that you're a 10. A 10 is saying you are absolutely perfect. So you're saying you don't have any acne, your hair is perfect every single day, like you're in the best shape of your life. You're saying you have absolutely nothing that you think you can improve on yourself.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that I would consider myself a 10. I don't know what other people would call me.
I think maybe you're thinking
You
of different
know?
categories because objectively, the golden ratio is a measure of facial symmetry, and it is objective. You can look at someone's face and see how closely they match. And so I think when a lot of people say it, what they're talking about is this is how I measure up to this ideal standard of beauty. Though I do think
Yeah.
you're right. Over time, or whoever said that, over time, society does value different aspects of women's beauty as time changes.
Yeah,
And these
it's
are
just
very
I know for a
Well,
fact
all
that
of
not
the-
everybody's gonna
remember, all
find me
of the
beautiful.
media-
Some people will.
women-
some people
women
won't. So
make
at the end of the day,
70
I'm gonna go with what I like.
But
And I
women
like
make,
how I look.
remember, women make 70 to 80% of consumer buying decisions. So all the media is marketed towards women. It's not for men. What men likes really has not changed.
More
I
natural
don't
usually.
see, but I said earlier, like it really does depend on the country and it does depend on where you're living because it's a lot different in America than it is in Israel. I lived in
Right.
Israel for over 4 years, and the beauty
Culturally,
standards
totally.
there are
Wildly different.
completely different
Right.
than
Yeah,
here.
100%.
Asian countries as well. When
I
I
mean,
got
everything.
back
Yeah,
here,
I've seen- yeah.
when I got back here, I went and I wanted a nose job right away. As soon as I got back, I went and got Botox. I went and got lip filler. I didn't feel beautiful here by beauty standards at all. But when I lived in Israel, I was very confident and I felt great because there they don't care about those beauty standards.
Right.
They
right.
don't
I need
care
to go
about
there.
No, but,
Might have been
they've
married by
done
now.
they've done studies on this, like with men all over the world.
I mean,
And-
I
and-
lived there
I
firsthand.
mean, I've
so
lived.
I
Okay,
saw
I've
it.
lived in Germany. I've lived all over the world too, so we could go back and forth in the I lived game. But in general, men tend to find the same things attractive.
I don't believe that's true at all. But
Okay, well,
But
What do you think men find attractive?
and, I mean, fit, feminine, friendly in general, symmetrical face. I mean, I think you kind of know it when you see it, if we're being honest.
So supposedly, like, biologically, like, where the
Big
men are
boobs, big
attracted
butts,
to,
small
like,
waist,
a
like,
woman
come
that
on.
looks like she's capable of bearing a child. So, like,
Yeah.
some meat on the
To me, that's the
body.
only way that we can say what we know men
lush
like, because
hair.
it's all different between what men like.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
Some
not,
men
it's not
like-
that one
and-
thing. Like, oh, if you
and-
have a small nose, every man
I
is
mean,
gonna like
men,
you.
men in
No.
general aren't that picky.
and also
some men
another-
like supermodels. Some men like the BBL big booty Latinas. Like everyone has a different type, so you
Right.
can't just
Yeah.
put men into
Right.
like a certain category.
I mean, men really aren't that picky. They swipe right on dating apps like 50% of the time. Like, again, men just really aren't.
They're not
that
picky on who they fuck, but they're
Mm-hmm.
picky on who they
they
want to call their
marry.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
Or
and who they want to
married.
show
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
And
mean,
another thing is you can be the complete and total package and get delivered to the wrong house. I'm
Right.
just saying you can be
Yeah.
you can be what somebody
I mean,
is dying and
but
praying for and
women
not
are the
get delivered to
choosers,
them.
so then you pick the wrong house.
No, I'm saying no.
means
I'm saying you can walk into a room and be a 10 to somebody in that room, but go up to the wrong guy.
I mean,
You know
not
what I
really,
mean?
not
We're
really.
talking
Okay, I'll
about
give.
the
Let's
broader
let's do
group
it.
of
Let's do a
people,
different
though, not
example.
necessarily
Is
one
Lizzo
person.
going to be a 10 anywhere?
No.
Lizzo, if she goes to Japan,
That's
is she gonna
exactly
be a
what
10?
I'm. That's exactly
Is
what
she-
I'm saying.
No, but she's not going to be a 10 anywhere. I mean, we could argue that maybe like
I mean,
you
there are
know.
I'm confused
plenty
on
of
what the
guys
hell we're
that like
arguing
big
actually.
Well, yeah, she would be a 10 somewhere. Like I
There are
said, in
plenty
the
of-
hood,
Yeah,
she would
exactly.
be a
She's
20.
girl.
She's
Like,
just like every woman. They could be the exact perfect package for the perfect person.
Right.
But that's exactly what I'm trying to
There's
say.
nobody that
Lizzo,
Lizzo is.
if you want to
Come
use her as
Have
an
you
example,
spoken to
she's a
every
beautiful
single person
woman.
on earth? Pearl?
right, right.
She,
I think what
Have
she's
you
getting
spoken
at
to
is
every
that.
single person on earth?
I mean, I have
'Cause
common
I
sense.
think that
You
that's
could-
where you get in. I think that's where you get it wrong sometimes. is
I
you
don't understand why
generalize
everyone's
too
become
much,
we
defensive.
have to we have
Out
to
of
generalize in order to have conversations.
Sometimes.
We
but not
we have to.
always.
Otherwise, if we're gonna have a conversation about every single exception,
But
we're
why-
gonna be here all day.
But why
Lizzo-
would you
but at
think
the end
that
of the
about
day, there
Lizzo?
are
It's because
guys
she's
like
fat.
Okay, I have a
Every
question.
single
I have a question. If I said you guys look like Lizzo, would you take it as a compliment?
Lizzo has a beautiful
I think
face.
she's confident
Lizzo
as
has
hell.
a beautiful face. Her face is
Her
beautiful.
body and her face and her confidence and the way that she carries herself, hell yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
she's
you have
beautiful.
you have a body
I
like
find I
Lizzo.
can
You're
find
cool.
beauty in every single woman though. Like that's just
I think
me.
I don't
what
think that's.
Holy crap. I think what Pearl was trying to get at is that it's okay to be normal. It's okay not to be a 10 out of 10 in society's standards. Everybody
no,
is told
100%.
nowadays that
And
they're
we would
special
be-
and that you're a 10, you're a 10. No, let's be for real. We have to be honest with ourselves. We go out into the world. I'm going to go out somewhere. Somebody doesn't like black girls. Guess what I'm going to have to do? Accept that people don't like black girls. I'm going to go
don't-
out there and change the world's opinion. No.
But that doesn't change how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's not
but
the
I feel about
objective
myself because I'm
rating,
going off of
though.
society's
But the
standards of what I
question-
look
the
like.
question
I
was to
feel that
rate
way, but
yourself.
she's saying
The
she feels
question was to
average.
rate our looks, not
Yeah.
ourselves.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're not
Rate
rating
your
yourself
own
a,
looks.
But
a
even
6 and a
okay, but
half
come on.
person.
Even if we're gonna go off personality, what we all have
That's
perfect
subjective
10.
too.
No, I'm saying like there's no areas for improvement in your personality.
That's not what we're
Like-
saying at all.
No, I mean it is when you're saying you're a 10. If you're including because
We were
you
talking
said it.
You
about-
have to be
Yeah,
honest,
okay,
you have to be
okay.
honest
I'm
with
a
yourself,
nine.
like, where you stand in
No,
society.
but I
We're
said
talking about looks,
I
though.
said if we were
Yeah.
going even if we were going personality, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but it's,
absolutely not.
I think that we're having a little bit of confusion about objectively. There is an objective beauty standard. You can look at a woman, and there are different across races, across ethnicities, across all different types of things. There are women who are objectively beautiful. When they walk in a room, you know that's a 10. You know it. You know it when you see it. But there is relative beauty, like you were saying. It depends on where you are, and you may have somebody who, for that culture, for that area, that's a 10, and it looks different than the objective 10 that most people, if you have a room full of 1,000 people from all over the world, they know when somebody walks in that's a 10, objectively, because you can see it's the facial symmetry, it's just the math, and our brains
100%.
comprehend it as beauty.
100%. And if you
Yeah.
bring somebody with blue eyes somewhere where there's predominantly not blue eyes, they're immediately going to get like a double look or be held to like, oh wow, that's beautiful because it's not seen as often, or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying blue eyes because that's what I have, so I'm not going to critique somebody else's look. But
Yeah.
What I don't understand is who is the shot caller that said, "Oh, this is the perfect structured face. This is what beauty is." Like
just
who,
society.
who has the
It's
right to
constantly
say
thrown in our
that?
face.
You're
Like,
right.
They're not
Brain
wrong
who
when
are
they're bringing
you?
up the golden ratio.
Yeah,
That
Fibonacci.
is a
It's just math.
It
yeah.
is
And you know, another thing is ridiculous to me is that okay, this is what a 30-year-old should look like. This is what you should look like when you're 20. This is what who
Do you,
put
I have
like
a
an
question.
ABC
I have a
chart
question.
that said
how
like
tall are you? How tall are you?
5'7".
Okay, would you date a guy that's 5 foot?
I have.
Really?
Oh, plenty of times.
5 foot.
Oh, plenty.
7 inches.
Plenty. I fucked a little 4 or 7 once before, honey. Let me tell you. I look.
and he was probably putting in double time.
Yeah, he was. Double pump. Yeah, no, look, where I come from, look, you just blessed, and at my age, you just blessed to get somebody that, you feel me, wants to show you some love, honey, and show you a good time, honey, so you got to go along with it, baby. If it's your, you feel me, your type, then it's your type. Height shouldn't matter, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think that's shallow, to be honest, to put somebody down just based off their height.
Women do
that's
though if you look
definitely
at the
shallow.
filters on dating apps though.
I
Like
mean,
most
I
like
mean,
the
I
most
can-
common filter is 6 foot and up, and most women have that filter on if they can.
I have
But
a
I also
question.
feel like most men like shorter women as well.
they do.
Yeah,
That's my problem.
5'2" is like this.
They want the
fucking
little tiny
glory
itty bitty, yeah.
I attract mad short guys, and
know,
I used to give them a
I was
chance. I used to date only.
I feel
like
like
five
short
eight.
kings
are
are
in
the
right
tallest
now.
women. There's no
The
problem.
most confident.
Yeah, they are.
I was like, you get a shot.
So for those of you who are working in the adult industry, I'm curious what you think your life will look like about 10 to 15 years in the future. Like, what do you picture? Where do you picture your careers going?
I mean, I've
currently?
definitely been thinking about that a lot since I got pregnant and also before as well. That's also why I kind of stepped out of the porn industry itself, because I was realizing that, you know, at least with OnlyFans, yes, they can screenshot, yes, they can screen record everything, and it can be put out on Reddit or whatever, but that I'm on the hub, anyone can look me up, and now it kind of sucks, like looking back on it. I don't regret my decisions because they got me to where I am today and the person that I am today, and I will always be thankful for that. But I do wish I went ahead and did my research before and did things a lot differently than I did.
Because I wonder, did you know before you started? So this is something. So I'm a career coach, and I help people find jobs without buying college degrees. So I help people get into tech and different industries, blue collar. It doesn't really matter. Whatever people want to do, I'll help them figure out how to do it. And so I'm curious about if it's common knowledge that if you do that kind of work later on down the line, it may show up, and an employer may choose not to hire you, and they're legally allowed to do so. And how have you like planned for that on down the line?
I went ahead. Kiana still is my real name, but I changed the spelling of it. I use a fake last name.
Legally, you changed it?
No.
Oh, okay.
So if I walk into a job, you can't correlate Kiana Kumani with my real name.
What if they start like making technology to like find your face?
Well, they already have. They already
Yeah.
have.
I mean, if they
that,
already
and
have, then they
there's-
already have. But honestly, after the work that I've done, I don't see myself going back to 9 to 5. I do want to go to college, and I do want to get my nursing degree because I do want to go and be a traveling nurse and help out in different countries. And I don't think it really matters when you're going to be a nurse if you've done corn. I don't see that as an issue because I want to help people.
A lot of employers do, and it will impact your prospects. As
And
far as hiring.
if that is the case, then that is the case. But right now, I'm trying to stack my money as much as possible, and again, invest in Airbnb properties.
That's wise of
and-
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and do as much as possible. I don't want to waste my money on stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb that a lot of women in the industry get into the industry and they have never had that much money before, so they go and buy designer purses, designer shoes, they go get a car, they waste all their money, they spend it.
And they don't learn how to do their tax forms. They don't learn how to write off things that they're paying for on a daily basis to keep up with their own like look. Like when you're an OF model, I can write off these nails every time I get them done. I can write off
Everything is a
hair.
write-off. Everything is a
Lashes.
Do you all
write-off.
do your own
everything.
taxes, or do you have CPAs?
I do my own. I've because I did my business degree, I actually like took courses and shit like that, and I actually really, really enjoy doing that. I want to help more people do that when it comes to OF. But no, I definitely have a plan for after I'm done with the industry that I'm in right now.